Daniela Urzola, who's a film critic and film programmer. And Florian Höhr, who is program director of this other, not that tiny, festival of Japanese films, a Nippon Connection, just a few blocks, I think slightly to the south. About that. Yeah, so it's also now, Florian's King, which is Japanese cinema, but I forgot to mention Daniela's King, which is sort of dark genre and horror. You see like the sparkling. So please take your seats next to me and let's see how I will do. My name is Kristina Aschenbrennerová and I'm also a colleague programmer. And we meet here for a debate, which is called the format is Reaktionszeit, and that's about the German you will hear from me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to save you a bit. So, hello. We watched for this very lovely Valentine's Day night, 2 lovely films. One, a short film, Arguments in Favor of Love, from Portugal by Gabriel Abrantes, and a super cute Mage Mage by Yuriyan Retriever from Japan. So I would start with a heavy question. Will love tear us apart?
Well, yes. It may also reconstruct us, but I don't think that's in business right now. But yeah, I feel like, the team mentioned it beforehand in the presentation, but watching both films, it's a really interesting program, seeing it together and seeing them today on Valentine's Day. I don't think it was a coincidence, but a happy one, I think, because I think there's a lot to both of them in deconstructing love, in the traditional sense, and sort of exploring other sides to it, even the darkest, deepest ones. But okay, I'm getting into something else.
We have space for that. So, or are you more of answering towards is there life after love person?
Hopefully there will be more love after love, because I found both films funny and also relatable, and painful in their relatable way, because I think both films also make you realize that love can be painful, but what can be more painful is the absence of love. And in Maga Honor, Mag, we see many different kinds of love, like obsessive love, for example, or jealousy. And when I watched the film again now, I saw it for the 3rd time, I realized it's so painful watching 2 people fall in love in front of you, and especially if one of them is one that you love yourself. So, and Yuriyan explained before the film that this is also kind of her own love story. So it felt like an exorcism, maybe. And I think being the director of that kind of movie is a real privilege that not all of us have. But still, it felt kind of liberating watching that film for me.
Do you think that perhaps also Gabriel was kind of liberating himself, of his ghosts of love?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. The same with Mag, which I don't think it's a literary translation of one's own ghosts. There's a process of fictionalizing everything through these stories. But it did feel as well like a sort of Florian was saying, sort of exorcism, right? And I think it goes like in line with what you're asking about, life after love or love after love. Like this idea, like both films in different ways. Like one could say like these bigger themes they touch on. It's obviously love, and then there's that part of like, you could say ghosts, but I like to use the word haunt, because it's such a powerful word. And it reminded me of what Argentinian horror author Mariana Enriquez talks about regarding Wuthering Heights, which is also very actual with the movie. I haven't seen it though, but she talks about the book, and she talks about how the word haunt is impossible to translate to Spanish, and how it's such a powerful word because it can mean like, it's not only talking about horror stuff, like about ghosts in a strict sense. Like it's so broad. Like it can mean so many things. It can mean like something that's chasing you even in the afterlife, or something that you can't let go of. And I think that's what ghosts are in regard to this big theme of love, something that keeps following our steps. Sometimes we want it to, sometimes we don't.
So, following you behind the grave. Is there a German version for hound, like the word? Because German has like quite rich vocabulary.
Yeah,
Does
I
something
mean,
comes to mind?
I don't know if someone in the audience would agree with me, but maybe heimsuchen, something like that. I'm not sure, but I wanted to add, because of course ghosts, they have kind of a negative connotation because they are scary and you don't want them around you. But also what you're saying, like they haunt you, they can also be like the experiences that you learn from and to move on afterwards. So I would say that something like a ghost from the past can also be kind of like a protective ghost in some kind.
Yeah, and then like that leads me actually to a question: is there a love that is not sort of spell? Or is love a spell to put on someone, whether the good magic or curse or something that haunts you?
Well, actually, it's funny because in Spanish, if we try to translate that word haunt, like when you talk about a haunted house, it's casa encantada, which would be enchanted house, right? But it's not really what you talk about when you say, when you talk about a haunt. But it reminds me of this because enchanting, it has this spell sort of witchy vibe to it. So it's very interesting how in different languages we address like this same very very abstract, very difficult concept to define. So to answer your question, I would say all forms of love are spells, but not all of them magical ones. But yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes not a magical thing that suddenly happens to you, but sometimes it's just something that grows on you. Like, for an example,
Hair.
doesn't even have to be a relationship between people. Just love for something, like the love for, now that we're here, cinema, for an example.
Yeah, and actually talking about like wordplays, like games in the sense, the title of arguments in favor of love. It's I haven't checked the original Portuguese title, my fault. But for you, are these like arguments that you present to support something in debate, or would you say that Gabriel had more in mind like arguments like fights? we can do this now. Like we were joking before that it's kind of programmer's dream to just like sit and vivisect the films of directors, and it's always like joy to explain the films to directors. We will get to that.
Well, I hadn't thought about the second meaning that you're saying, but I thought more about it like like argumenting in favor of love. But it's true that I think there's the gameplay, the name.
Yeah, actually, when I read the title of the film, I was also like something like arguments in favor of love. But after having watched the film, I'm more like the second, like the debate thing. Yeah,
I think it's because we're very optimistic, romantic, maybe.
Or it's like creating smart, like enemies to lovers. Like you argue first, and then it leads to love.
Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, like arguments is a fight, and then it leads to love.
Yeah, it could be too.
Yeah, but arguments don't, or a fight doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Like if you don't fight with each other, you never find something that you really want, or come to something that you really want.
And actually, if you love something, that's something to fight for, like in the meaning, like not to fight for, like in a violent way, but to like protect it and care for it.
Fair enough. You started also like that there were some expectations before watching arguments in favor of love. Do you remember that if you had any expectations about like when you first read Magmak? Like what were you imagining? What were your expectations?
Well, when I first read Magmak, obviously like the title itself didn't say much to me. Like it could be anything, right? And then I read the synopsis, and it felt very familiar in a way of like in the tradition of Japanese horror, right? And Japanese folklore, like these tales of like creatures and ghosts and different monsters, one might say, but the word also has some connotations. But thinking about films like Kwaidan or yokais, which are all adaptations of Japanese folk tales. So I think the synopsis did like create this expectation on me, and then we talk about it.
Yeah, when you mentioned the expectations, I was already expecting that question, because this film is, for me personally, it's all about expectations and kind of subverting expectations. And I think for me, maybe it was a little bit different than for many others, because I'm a festival programmer and specifically for Japanese films. So I'm always looking for Japanese films, and I find out about Japanese films at a point where barely anything is known about them. So you already had a synopsis for the film, but when I found about the film, I just read the title, the director, and the production company. And that is important regarding the expectations, because you saw the name of the production company, K2 Pictures, and that is actually their very first film. And they were founded in order to make Japanese films with a much higher quality and like combining forces. And they have some very famous supporters like Koreeda, for example, which I guess many of you know. So when I saw that and I knew there's this company and I was looking forward to seeing what they're going to do, I was anticipating something very nice, something of a high quality, but I did not expect a horror movie, and especially not this kind of horror movie. I was maybe expecting some kind of art house film, and so just by its existence already, it kind of surprised me and blew away my expectations.
Sorry, talking about expectations, since you said you only knew also the name of the director, I imagine you searched her, or?
Barely. I'm very sorry about that, but I did not know Yuriyan.
No.
but I saw that she's a comedian, yes. But of course, Takeshi Kitano is also a comedian, and he did some very serious films. So that alone was not something which already drew my expectations that it could be that kind of film.
So especially with Kitano, you just don't know what to expect. It can be like really a very sort of noble art house, and it can be like really a killer of time. Like not like waste of time, but like in a positive that many people get killed.
Yeah, no, I was asking if you searched her because I did. And I found like this whole universe that is Yuriyan Retriever in all her different lines of work.
A womanness.
Yeah. and it really it hyped me up, like seeing her background. Like I knew I had to leave behind all expectations. Like I knew I wasn't going to see a regular horror film, or like I was very intrigued by like knowing where she came from.
And is it actually possible to put away your expectations?
It's hard. It's very hard, yeah.
Yeah, because also with Gabriel's film, it's, I don't know if you're familiar with like I basically mainly know his Diamantino, the fluffy puppies and soccer. Was it something that it perhaps prepared you for arguments?
Yeah, I had seen Diamantino, and I wouldn't say prepare because it's very different too. But I did expect like something groundbreaking as well, like a very different idea. Like I didn't know what to expect exactly, but I knew it wasn't like it was going to be something new.
Protests, fires, and floods. Yeah, and like I don't know how about you, but I really find like a nice detail in kind of positioning the films alongside, because Mak is very much about appearance, physical appearance of not only the ghost, the girl, and then actually the young man in the and the boy, and arguments in favor of love basically are in a way bodiless. So how do you feel like which one you prefer for love, or for perhaps purgatory or hell?
Something that is interesting is in Mak, of course, it plays with a lot of tropes, and of course, if you watched a few Japanese horror movies or just horror movies in general, you will recognize many things in this film, and one of them is that in Japanese, yes, for example, not only things but only people, yes, and one of those tropes is, which is even maybe older than Japanese horror movies in general, is that Japanese ghosts, they kind of are bodiless usually because they are not really there. They're just in the mind of the people, and they drive them into madness. Like the typical, it's such a typical trope, the female revenge ghost. It goes back not only decades but centuries already, like in kabuki plays, and then it inspired the J-horror movies. So I would say, even though, of course, Mak appears in the film, especially in the beginning, Mak is barely visible, so it kind of plays around with that trope. And so that is something that connects both films, I would say, that there's not really a physicality of the ghosts. And interestingly, physicality plays a very important role in Yuriyan's comedy, which I found out later after watching the film.
That's what led me to this question, actually.
And yet there's still, like, I agree, and yet I feel like there's still like a sort of dialogue or a dichotomy between the ghost, which is Mag, and the main character. I don't remember her name now. Wrote it down, but
The Eureka,
yeah,
that's the girl who
goes
committed
hunting for Mag. Yeah,
yeah, that's Sanae, I
Sanae,
believe.
Yeah. Like there's a constant dialogue there, even to the point where you talked before how relatable these films could be, and there's that point that highlights the empathy that she feels when she finally sees Mag when she's approaching the little boy. And there's that moment of empathy that I think also like touches all of us. Like we can feel that empathy as well. Like even beforehand when we know the story that supposedly inspired Mag and everything, but that moment I feel like it's a crucial moment in that dialogue, and in that dialogue there is as well the dichotomy between the bodily and the ethereal, because she's a ghost, but the real woman is seeing her finally, like seeing her both literally and symbolically, like emotionally seeing her. So I think there's like that moment where she's finally right there in front of her, and they are both like in an horizontal relationship.
Is it that perhaps women can understand the curse on a sort of emotional level, and men stay blind?
She's looking at you.
Or men are ghosting?
Yeah, well, don't ask me about that.
I just did.
No, what I also saw in the film is like the different kinds of rejection that you can receive, and that's also going back to what you said, like the thing that is relatable. But I found it very interesting also that, of course, Mag is a comedy, but at the same time plays serious very often. For example, I would say that's just the reason why The Naked Gun, of course, a completely different film, works so well, because it has this deadpan of humor. I won't say this is the Naked Gun of Japanese horror movies, but I think this is a very important factor why it works so well. And when I was watching the film, I was always going back between
Naked Gun?
going back and forth between looking forward to some very glorious, humorous scenes, but also always thinking, yeah, this is exactly how it feels like.
What exactly it is?
What I explained, for an example, the feeling of rejection or the absence of love, and even like Dennis in his introduction mentioned, today is Valentine's Day, and like, for example, the character who turns out to be the villain in the end is driven by jealousy, watching other happy couples, and my sympathy goes to everyone who's alone here tonight. So Valentine's Day, going around in the streets, watching all the happy couples is something that can be hurtful, and so this is, for an example, something relatable you can find in the film.
Especially when it follows Friday 13.
Yeah.
That's why we're here to redefine Valentine's Day. No one's alone here. We are all together.
Yeah, it's like you have like New Year's, so it's like the Valentine's Day, and like New Year's Eve. It's actually the main event. No, I was also kind of wondering, because we already mentioned Sanae. Is she the curse?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think that's open for me. Like, and that's what I like, in line with what I was saying, that I feel there's sort of like two sides represented in Mag and her, right? And sometimes they're the same side, sometimes they're confronting each other. Sometimes they're looking each other right in the face. So I think the movie intentionally leaves that open, right, for each and every one of us to sort of try to make sense of try to make sense of it all.
Yeah, no, I also think that Sanae is, of course, going back to that, relatable, but also, of course, going too far. Like, many characters are going too far in this film. And that's why I mentioned in the beginning that it was maybe a big privilege being able to make this film, because with this, you are not harming anyone like Mag, but you're giving a lot of people, hopefully, as I thought from your reaction, giving a lot of people enjoyment for by putting these emotions into the film, possibly.
Is it kind of like a license to safely revenge, for a safe revenge?
Yeah, possibly. Yes. Yeah. And
did you enjoy it?
Sorry?
How many times you enjoyed it?
A lot. Yeah, it's like this, like you said it before as well, like revenge inspires a lot of these Japanese folk tales, right? This that then are a huge influence, like on the rise of J-horror, like in the beginning of the century, but also even before, like thinking of Ugetsu and Black Cat Mansion, Black Haunted. I don't remember the name exactly.
Black Cat.
Yeah, but yeah, it's very early in cinema as well that we begin to see those types of stories, and they're always very cathartic. Like they're like, we're not going to do what Mag is doing, but maybe we enjoy watching her doing it because it has crossed our minds sometimes. But yeah, it's very, I think the horror genre in general is very cathartic in many ways.
Very satisfying.
Because it exercises a lot of our inner ghosts. And this particularly, like, I think it has that, what people call, like colloquially call this sort of genre like good for her genre, right? So it's like there are several moments where I think most of us might have thought like, yeah, good for her.
Is there any good for him? More like well deserved for him?
Oh, I don't care about that. I think it's good for her, and that's enough. Good enough for me. And what you mentioned about the revenge being a popular topic, of course, this also relates in a way to justice, because we would like things to be fair and we would like things to be right. So having revenge can be kind of a way to make things right, at least in your mind, how it is right in your mind. Doesn't always have to be really the right thing, but sometimes it can be very satisfying. Yeah,
and it also speaks a lot of the context surrounding what is represented, because sometimes these feelings of frustration and revenge and wanting to inflict pain on those who have inflicted pain on you or on others come from the frustration of seeing that nothing is done. And I think that's also like a bigger commentary on humanity as a whole. And there we go again to the theme of love, which is the center of humanity, and sometimes we seem to forget that. And I think in a very twisted way, these tales remind us of going back to that.
Yeah, because also getting to arguments in favor of love. Basically, the first dialogue is, I'm doing this for love, and I am educating you. It's basically two persons or two ghosts speaking from the point of love. I will use this little break because it's now time to add one more person to the reactions. So please allow me to call on stage maga maga, daisuki. So, an woman, some occasional director, occasional actress, occasional comedian, occasional rapper, and full-time lawyer. Yuriyan retriever. Come. Yeah, you speak more German than I do.
Thank you for watching it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Yuriyan retriever, and then she's Masaya. She's my lawyer.
So the even more dangerous woman, like lawyer's lawyer.
Thank you. Just in case. Lawyer. Thank you.
I actually have like very, perhaps also lawyery question, like that was haunting me. If somebody put on the tree, Mag loves Mag, what would happen?
Oh.
This is yes. Separated or very peaceful, because the most important thing about love. Switch off. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me about that. But now I know. Mag loves Mag is very good way, because now I know the most important thing about love is love myself.
Yes.
Thank you. Right?
How the
learned.
hell are you going to love anybody else?
Yes, I learned about it on YouTube about love psychology recently. Love myself is most important thing, right?
Is that why basically saying to Mag, I love you
Oh yeah.
didn't work?
But could you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah, because in the end, the little boy, he says to Mag, she goes to him and says like Mag loves you, and he says I love you too.
Yeah, that boy said,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Sorry. I see. Okay. I always pretend I understood English. I'm sorry. I was pretending.
I do the same.
Sorry. I always say yes. In Los Angeles, I always say yes. And I went to hospital, and the doctor said something like, but I was yes. And then I got a shot in my butt. Somehow, I don't know. Anyway, thank you. Anyway, the Magma didn't expect get I love you from the boy, because she has never got the words I love you too. So Mag always wants a word I love you too, but she didn't expect. She hasn't expected for a long time in her life. So she was shocked. First, she was shocked. I love you, and I love you too. Me. And she was shocked, and she was happy. But boy said, I love you too. But where is mom? Do you remember that? Yeah. Where is mom? And Mag was super confused, because you say, I love you too. But as soon as you said, I love you too, why you are looking for your mom? She was super confused. But at the same time, she realized, oh, loving is the important thing. How to love is not only love, I love you, love you, love you. No. I need to care their situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yes, right. You pretend. So, love is each other. So, I love you too. But I need to. She realized, oh, I need to care his situation because he need a mom now. But she was super confused. I love you too. Yes, but you are looking for mom. Why? But I know your situation. But why? Super confused. So you know what I'm saying. So, but the rule. Do you remember the rule? The mag rule. If someone reject her, he was killed. Right? So she was super confused. So at once he say, I love you too. But now he's looking for her mom. So confused. Is it rejection?
Yeah.
Rejection or accepting? Oh, I don't know. So she was like, confused. I don't confused. And then bad boy's mom is like confused. And she disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Thank you
Yes,
so
yes.
much. Thank you.
Wow. And what about like to also get a Daniela and then Florian back on the floor? What were you? We spoke about like expectations before the film, but this scene, like, what were your expectations about? Like, did you expect this curse to be kind of like terminable? And which of the means did you perhaps were thinking might be ending it?
But is it really like it's something that I think that it can be like she disappears and the tree is destroyed, but that doesn't stop the curse from maybe being like resurrected later on. Like I think it and I think that's very very smart of the way of how the story is told, like unfolding into multiple stories, because it leaves me with that sensation. Like I don't feel like the stories end there. Like I feel like there are going to keep going these multiple stories one after the other. So yeah, is it really terminable? I don't know.
What does your experience from Japanese films?
Yeah,
tell you?
first of all, this is the second Japanese film that I watched today, and it is the second film where a giant tree plays an important role. Says maybe a lot about tropes in Japanese
Yeah,
cinema.
there are like trees. There are also, of course, like wooden shrines, gods, spirits, where you can like lay your prayers.
And when the first kind of twist happens, for me it was I felt, okay, now I've got it figured out.
Okay,
And
what was the first
to
twist
me,
for
the
you?
first twist was that Yurika does play a role in the film, but of course this is misleading us. And of course then it goes on, and then suddenly the tree plays a role, and then in the end I kind of had the feeling that the self-made bomb would not explode, because the curse of Magmag is not really the ghost, I would say, but just the negativity maybe we experience through love. Because now when we were talking, it came into my mind that there were so many bad kinds of love in this film, like obsessive love, rejection and jealousy. But purest kind of love you only see for a very short time in the film. So it kind of shows also how destructive love can be if it goes the wrong way.
Sorry, actually, I think that it is the purest form of love, which is like mother and son, which finally leads to finally letting the bomb explode and letting everything. Like before that, when she tries to explode the bomb 2 or 3 times, it never works because it's not coming from the right place.
Everything happens for a reason.
Let that reason be love.
I think so.
What were you thinking?
Yes.
Were you thinking like this curse can be ended, or it never ends?
Thank you. Forever.
So a proper curse. Good.
Yes, because you are here, cursed is forever. As long as you live.
You're welcome. You just got blessed with a Japanese curse of love forever by a lawyer.
On
Dream come
Valentine's.
On Valentine's Day that follows Friday 13. Let's throw some hair. And what was the first idea that gave birth to the film?
Yeah.
Because you said that it's inspired also something very personal. So who do you hate so much?
First idea of magma. Now I understood. Thank you. I'm a comedian, and 5 years ago, I was on TV, Japanese reality show, and I was interviewed. Yuriyan, what's your next? The interviewer asked me, and I was like, oh, I love movies, so I want to be a movie director. So, coincidentally, fortunately, producer watched the TV show, and then he called my manager, agent, and then, Yuriyan, do you want to be a movie director? And I was like, yes, I want to be. And today, and then first day, and then we and producer and me talk about what kind of movie we are gonna shoot, we are gonna make, and then I need to, I wanna talk about my love story, because most important thing, because that into in, you know what I'm saying? So at the time I'm into in love story about me. I was into in my crush, and I was like, I talked to him like, I have a crush, and he's like this, but he's not interested in me. Why? And my ex crush is my ex boyfriend's like la 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 la, and then he was like, oh, this is a horror. and then like Mag, let's do it, and based on my true love story, and then horror movie, let's make it. Why my love story is make it horror? Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's so much fun that it's scary.
Yes, appreciate it, and so it's kind of documentary.
We have supporting materials for that, like even centuries of Japanese history speaks for it. And also, like for all three of you, is it something that, because in horror we have usually like this woman figure that even her revenge comes from love, being disrespected. Also in Western tradition, we have, of course, there's Carrie, there's Cursed Car, Christine, nothing to do with me. I will skip like the rape revenge, but like I want really this like supernaturally powerful beings. Are women in love supernatural to the point they will harm people who disrespect their love?
Thank you. I think so. I think so. But people scared me when I love someone. But I don't know why, because this is just a pure, sorry, pure. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't know how to show my love. I just say love, 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 love. But people scared me. I don't know why.
Florian, are women in love scary to men? To you? Perhaps when you were like in a first grade, it's like elementary school, like 6, 7. Was there someone who scared you with their love?
You're asking the wrong person because I'm queer, so you can.
Yeah, that's why I changed it. Like if there was someone that scared. So
yeah, and I think also what can be scary, because now I talked about rejection, but being the person who has to reject, that's also really scary. And so I think, yeah, this kind of perspective also plays a role in the film, because there are all these men in the film who are rejecting and then
embracing too much.
then they face the consequences, and it kind of makes you feel that what it does to the other person.
Does
maybe making a film like this, for an example.
Does rejection make you a monster?
Does rejection make you a monster is the question? I wouldn't call it a monster. It just
we actually we're circling back like a pure corporate to arguments in favor of love. There's rejection.
It can make you monstrous, but monstrous in the sense of powerful. But yeah, wouldn't call it a monster.
So what would you say, guys? Now to you. Is love a monster? Is it a cure? Is it the rejection that is the monster? Is Yuriyan the monster? Is perhaps Gabriel the monster? Are we the monsters? Or you?
Monster? Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, hello, guys. Thank you very much for the film.
Thank you.
Very good. What I wanted to say is, you get the hint, and the end is self-love. It's the answer. But as you all know, this is a day of love. Is it the day of being loved or to love someone? And in the end, she get the answer. It's about self-love. You can be loved or you can love someone, but you need to love you. And at the end, everything's going to be great. I don't know if it's an answer, so it's my answer. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice evening.
Yeah. Some more arguments behind? Yes. I see a hand in the dark of the limelight.
But then it also begs the question, is it love or is it obsession? You know, like when does the lines, like when is it not being blurred anymore? When we move from a point where like, I love you, but then like, I love you, you know?
Okay.
How many I love yous, right?
Yeah. How many I love yous is healthy love?
Just 1 second, please. want to know. I don't know, but yes, I don't know. I'm learning. I'm learning now, but now today I learned love psychology on YouTube every single day, and today is Valentine's Day, right? And then always my life Valentine's Day in Japan, especially in Japan, girls. Uh, the confess, yeah, thank you. Girls confess love to boy, like my way, and then I every single year I've been confessed on Valentine's Day, but on YouTube I learned now. Don't confess Valentine's Day. Just wait. Don't chase.
Do it on Christmas.
Yes.
Give your heart to someone
Right?
who will throw it away. Right?
So this year I didn't say anything to my crush. Yes, I am so
There's still time.
patient. Yeah.
Are you crushing on someone?
Yeah, and then I want to know how he feels now.
So that's actually like your declaration of love
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. Thank you. So now I'm learning, but I want to know. Thank you. How do you think that
How many I love yous is too many? Do we have somebody who's learned, who knows? Because it's like I think that here we are slightly still drawing and being on fire and cooking and trying to defuse bombs. Eventually, like you are for me, slightly sitting in darkness, so just like scream, "I love me." No, I'm afraid like we are just like hopeless bunch of searchers. Yeah, there is a hand. Yes.
Okay. So I got the microphone and I've been like
Yeah.
waiting. So first of all, what is love? Is it that you actually love someone for the personality and that you like do things for that person kind of and like care about their well-being because you really love them or because you love how that person looks or maybe even because it feels good when you love somebody? Like what is love? And I think it's very important to, I wouldn't call it loving yourself, but like appreciating yourself for who you are and doing what you like. Like you don't have to go in front to the mirror every day and say, I love you, but like knowing what you were, like that you're special and that you are also a human who deserves to be loved. And yeah.
Thank you. To me, question. No, everyone's question.
This was advice outside of YouTube.
Advice? Thank you. Thank you for advising me. Just let me see. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Strong, powerful message. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm trying to love myself. Like every single morning, I'm trying to write the how I love me. and how important I am. And then every single morning I'm writing down, and then in cafe, and then
On the mirrors.
in mirror rouge.
Yuriyan loves you.
So what you said is most super important, and then thank you for strong message to my life. Thank you so much. Woo. Appreciate it.
Can I just add something?
Yes,
What-
please.
What you just said, or just made me think of a part of the movie where Sanai is very like obsessively having that song saying, going like Hiroshi. Like I love that part. It was so like dramatic and very comedic. But it's also there's just one part where she looks at herself in the mirror, and she's saying that to her own image. I love you, and like talking about Hiroshi, but like she still is looking to herself on her like, and also every action she does is in a way for herself, and it's like in a way I felt like this love wasn't something for the boy in a way, but just for her, and like she was just giving an image of what she wants or how maybe it's herself in something else. Yeah, that's just a thing that made me think about from what you just said.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, was Sana in love with herself and only thinking that she's in love with Hiroshi?
Oh yeah.
That's like inspired question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can I ask? Yes, thank you for asking me. Can I answer to her?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely, yes. But she didn't realize. She didn't realize. Do you remember the scene of like she was like, nah, yeah, on in her room, and then why she was crying? Why she was yelling? Because it's not Hiroshi is dying. No. Her life plan is ruined. So I was supposed to be a girlfriend of him, but he was not there. He was not there. So why? But she didn't realize. She didn't even realize why she is crying. But in front of her, then in the bottom of her heart, her life plan is ruined because Hiroshi was not there. It means Sanae loves herself, not him. Maybe I think, but as you said, I think so. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so
Remember,
much.
Yuriyan loves you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, can I go? You guys are really having a good time talking about love, but maybe can I swing it back to somewhat like maybe like looking at this film critically. For example, like the family, the husband and the wife and the child, and when I don't know whether because he was sick that when she made a breakfast, he just poured everything onto the floor, and then she was very kind of submissive to that. And that part I was thinking, is this because he's sick, and is this a temporary, or this is how he is usually? Then I was thinking this is kind of like a critique of the patriarchal, this power with dynamics. And also the other thing, I was also thinking there was another example that the boy with the 3 girls and another boy living in one house, and basically this guy was like a powerhouse, and he can do whatever he wanted. He could fuck anyone in the house and then still having a girlfriend. So in some ways, him getting killed and then like these people like not really caring, like when he was getting killed and everything, was also once again critique of the male power. So Yuriyan,
Yes.
I'm just wondering, like is this a Freudian slip that this critique kind of came out, or like you're conscious of this type of societal critique? Yeah.
Thank you. Just 1 second, please.
Perhaps also prepare your thoughts. Thank you. Yeah, and you also have school bullies. Let's not forget
yeah,
them.
sorry. I pretended I pretended understood English, so sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so this is very confusing talking if I speak in English, so I'm gonna speak in Japanese, so she's gonna translate. Just 1 second. じゃあ日本語で喋ります。ダンス多分その旦那さんがご病気でああいう風になってっていうことではなくて、多分普通に偉そうにしたい人なんだと思います。だから、パワハラというか、モラハラというか、モラハラっていうんですかね、そういうなんか奥さんに偉そうにするみたいなのが結構問題になってるっていうのよく聞くんですけど、男尊女卑とかをテーマにしたいわけではないんですね。なんかとにかく嫌な人を懲らしめたいとか、そのシェアハウスの人だったら昔私が振られた人をモデルにしてたりとか、なんかとにかく復讐したいっていう気持ちを込めてやりました。学校でいじめられてるシーンとかも私が中学校の時に言われたこととかを元にしてやりましたので、なんかとにかく嫌な人、復讐するためにとにかく嫌なやつを作り出そうっていうことでみんなで作り出しました。じゃあ、ちょっと translate please.
Well, in the scene with the family and the breakfast, it's not that the husband is sick or anything. He's just a very arrogant, very unlikable person. And you can call power harassment or moral harassment. You hear this kind of stories very, very often. And also, so it's not about critiquing the patriarchy or anything, but it's about people who are really just super unnice, just really mean, mean people. Also in the share house, I had a similar experience with one of my exes. So it was my revenge to this person because I experienced something similar. And also, the mobbing in the high school, in the school, it's also when I was a junior high school student, I had this kind of experience. So I was creating all these unlikable, mean people, characters, in order to have my revenge.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Masayo. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking me. Is that okay?
So this time, no Freud. Very conscious woman. Would you be interested in a follow-up question?
Yes, please.
So in some ways, like you're gathering all your kind of torment or like a trauma from your own experience, right? So it's very personal. At the same time, the way they function in these films, these people who have power, are very kind of societal trope. So in some ways, it's very personal, but very kind of, what do you say, public? No, not public, but Kristina, help me.
General shared?
Yeah, general, like, you know, this is how it is, like how how it is usually in the society. So in that way, I'm not saying this is a critique, but it's like your anger that you have accumulated from your experience in some ways. It is very personal, but at the same time, it is also very something that's very a norm of Japan in some ways. So, yeah.
Thank you. Mas, please drink or eating. Just 1 second. Thank you so much. As you said, thank you and I appreciate it. My personal part, your personal part, public. Maybe because we are human beings, same experience in front of bottom of our heart. I think. Thank you for everything. Thank you. After all, human beings, we are.
And I have a very lovely signal from a human being that we are slowly running out of time. And so perhaps to close, it's actually it's a Korean film, Old Boy, that ends with a question: are monsters worthy of love?
I don't think so. Because there are no monsters. You know what I'm saying? No monsters. There is no monsters. Monster we create, just create. So I'm monster, like the short film. They say I'm monster, you're monster. No. You are you. We are we. I am I. You are you. So no monster. So we have right, everyone right to get love. So that's why. Thank you.
I think that is an amazing closure for Valentine's Day night following Friday 13. I'm becoming really boring. I'm glad you're still laughing at it because horror and comedy are very close. But perhaps next time, and over the beer or something else. So thank you, dear audience.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Yuriyan Retriever.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela, Urzola. Thank you, Florian Höhr.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear team of Berlin Critics Weeks. Thank you.
You.